Hello there and welcome to ADCraft. In today's video I'm going to be showing you how to build this fantastic rustic looking lava mill using all of the new blocks that have come along in the fantastic 1.16 Nether update. So don't go anywhere and let's get on with the video. This is the list of materials taken from the finished build, so if you pause the video now and take these down, then you'll have everything that you need. The first thing to do for this build is to make sure that you've got the appropriate amount of space. So the bottom floor of the main building is going to be 9 by 7 with a 3 by 3 chimney breast. Then you've got an additional porch area that comes out equal to the chimney and equal to these pillars at the front, and these pillars are 4 by 7 at the front. Then you've got this trench area which I've just dug down, which is where your lava wheel is going to go, and I've taken all of the lava out of that just because it's a lot easier to build it, and then you can obviously add the lava back in later, but you don't have to take the lava out anyway. You can just take a fire resistance potion. The first thing we're going to do is to build the lava wheel itself. So we're going to come level with this polished block and then level with the lava, and we're going to go 3, and then we're going to go up 1 at each side. Underneath here we're going to place a stair. This is all in the warped planks and warped stairs. Then on both sides we'll come up 3. And then again, we've going to repeat what we did on the bottom with a stair, 2 blocks, stairs on either side, and then 3 planks across the top. And lastly, we're going to, on this side, put some trapdoors all the way around and open or close those rather, so they are flush with the wood to get this lovely circular shape. And then we're going to take our crimson fences and we're going to fill this entire thing in right the way around, and then all of the gaps as well. So going around 2 full rotations, but leaving the middle block here as a hole because we're going to put the center stem through that in a second. Now we're going to repeat this on the other side as well. The next thing that we're going to do is simply we're going to put some just junk blocks there so we can get the right direction on our warped wood, and this is going to form the center going through and just sticking out here by 1 full block. To create the bucket, put down some junk blocks and then place some crimson trapdoors on top of them, and then we fold those trapdoors up and that creates the bucket shape and get rid of the junk blocks. And then you complete that by carrying on round, basically exactly the same but just on each of the sides, so placing them down, keeping them flat, and then adding the bucket bit round rotationally each time. Now that the water wheel is finished, or the lava wheel I should say, now you can actually take out the walls that have been holding back the lava and fill this in right the way through up until these pillars, and just fill that back up with some buckets so it's completely surrounded by the lava. Now to start building the base foundations. Firstly, I have made a slight adjustment. Those are meant to be the corner blocks, and I moved everything back one because I'd actually made it a little bit too big. So we add in some archways here and do this all the way between each of these sets of pillars. Next we add in some uprights on each of these corners, and then we link those together. And then we start working on the decking, which is going to be the bottom slabs right the way across. Apart from on each of these, we're going to have a full block. I've lowered the side section and just round the back slightly because I realised that they were a block too high for this. So we're going to add the last bit of the decking, which is 2 stairs here coming to the back of the build, 1 outside this and 2 stairs here with a 2 gap. And then we're going to fill in a block here, and these are full blocks. 1 here, here, and then in the middle there, and 1 more, so leaving 2 gap in each of them apart from this last one here. Now we're going to fill all of this in with top slabs. Using the warped stem, we bring that into the build and then build up. Next we surround that with some birch planks, and then we create the grindstone using some andesite upside down stairs and cap that all off. We use some birch planks then to complete the rest of the flooring of the first floor of the interior before we switch back to the warped stems, and then knocking out one in the middle of each of the long areas. We build each of these up 4 above the basic height of the bottom warped stem, and then we just fill in the gaps with some nether brick, but leaving some spaces for some doorways and leaving some spaces for some windows. So we've got a window in these sides, and that's a chimney breast that we've got there, so we're going to leave a space for a fireplace underneath. You can build the chimney up however you like, however you feel looks good, but the aim will be that we start with something thick and we move to something thinner. Then we just fill in the last 2 sets of walls with all of the nether bricks before starting to replace the odd brick here and there just for some texturing with the cracked nether brick. After placing the cracked bricks, then the final stage for this floor is to get some crimson stairs and to place them against the edge of the building on these 2 sides, and that's going to support the next floor. Place a nether brick stair at a lintel on the doorway, and then get your crimson trapdoors, and on the 2 either side of the doorway and the 2 either side of the first window, place them at the bottom of the slab. Next we're going to take some andesite stairs and just build up a little staircase to the second floor. Once we've placed the stairs, we're going to place some slabs underneath just to give it a bit more structure. Place a final slab next to the top nether brick block, and then we're going to start building up the warped stems for the next level. So that is going to be 4 high, and we're going to build them up on each of these pillars. But when we get to the ones with the trapdoors, what we're actually going to do is shift click and build up 4 high on that, and then bring the actual blocks out and around, placing a junk block so we can get the right direction and come up 4 high at the front, and then link it up to the second trapdoor where we also go 4 high. Use the warp stem to continue filling in on top of the nether brick to connect up the new pillars, and once that's done we're going to place some birch slabs as bottom slabs, making sure that we leave space for the stairway so we can climb up that and just fill everything in for the floor. Next we're going to take the crimson slabs, and at the top of the warped stem we're going to be placing these as top slabs and connecting up all of the points where we have the upside down stairs with a further upside down stair to give it a bit of structure. Then at the front we're going to do the same. We're going to go 1 block round, and then we're going to make full blocks in the corners. The second story walls are going to be created using quartz, smooth quartz in fact. but if you wanted to use bone blocks or something, you could. So we're going to create these little diagonals using the warped stems, and then fill in this one and create 2 windows with just a split in the middle, and again exactly the same pattern on this side with 2 further windows. Then here we're going to create a single window, and then at the back we're going to have another triangular, well, a diagonal design using the warped stems. Final touch will be a lintel for each of the doorways, and that's going to be a smooth quartz stair. Now we go back to the warped stems again, and for each of the corner blocks where we've come up, we come up a further block and then connect all of these round. And then once we've connected them round, we're actually going to connect up over the new extra bit that we've built. So we come out here right the way to the edge and then come across, again connecting up with the other area. Now we're going to take some birch stairs, knock out this block and build some stairs up around the edge just above the other staircase. As with the andesite before it, we then place some blocks in just to make it look a bit more structural, and then using again the slabs, the birch slabs, we finish off the flooring of this next level. Leave a 1 wide gap when you are doing the flooring on the side of the water wheel, and then outside that we're going to be placing some upside down crimson stairs and some crimson trapdoors, and then back to the warp stems we're going to be using this for the outcrop and connecting this up. And then we're going to place some more blocks just to mark out where we're going to raise this, and that's the original basis for the floor on the bottom level. And then we're going to come up 3 on the outcrop, and then 4 total in all of the other ones. We're also going to go in the middle of this outcrop and come up 4. At the top of the section that's in the main build, so not the extra bit, we're going to create some beams going across, and then we're going to go to the far side from the water wheel and add in some walling and a window above the other double window, and then just some more walls in these gaps. On the water wheel side, 2 more windows, and then at the back of the build we're going to again fill in the little gaps. But here in this big section you can either have a diagonal piece like we had before, like this, or you can actually choose, if you wanted, to have that as a window. And then that is this section finished once we put in this last window. To cover the hole for the new outcrop, firstly we're going to place some underneath crimson trapdoors and then some birch slabs to create a dual level section on this, and this is going to cover the other gap that we've left in the flooring. Then to take us up to the mezzanine we're going to put some ladders. Fill in up to the point where the level of the floor changes beneath with some more birch slabs, and make sure you leave a little gap so that you can get up the ladders. Add a couple more quartz blocks either side of the window on the far side from the water wheel. For each of the blocks in the corners, we're going to come up 3 more warped stems for the main building, and then for the outcrop itself we're going to come up 1 and then connect those round over the outcrop. So it's just the outcrop itself that is 1. Then we're going to come up a further block on the middle section, the middlemost pillar, and we're going to go out 3 one direction and then 1 the other direction, and we're also going to fill in the quartz in between those gaps. So finally we're going to fill in some windows on this floor. They are 2 windows apart from the one on the far side from the water wheel, and then we've got this little diagonal section again which has just got filled in with some quartz there, and the final 2 high window at the very front of the build. Now we come to the roof, and I put an extra couple of quartz there by accident. This is going to be using the warped slabs and warped stairs with a trim of the black stone. So we're going to come up from the bottom 2 stairs and then a full block and then a stair and then a full block again, with stairs underneath on the black stone each of the stairs that we've got in place, so you've got a bit more thickness. Then finish off this with an upside down stair to bring it out 1, and then some warped stairs and some black stone there, and then filling this in just with some full blocks. We're going to put on top of this some slabs then 2 full blocks, and then an upside down and right way up stair just to finish it off. We're just going to then build the front of the building up and to the same peak. So again, using the warped planks and the warped stairs, we're just going to come up, making sure again with the black stone on the edge that we have the underside stair as well, just to give it that bit more thickness and that bit make it a bit more substantial. And then we're going to finish off with some warped stairs, come back again for the full blocks, and just basically mirror what we've done at the front of the build with the extra bit sticking out and then connect it up. For the roof we add 2 warped stems and then 4 quartz at the front and the back. And then we come across with the black stone. So the black stone is going to extend 2 blocks past the front and the back. Then on top of that we're going to place 3 full blocks, a stair and a slab at both the front and the back again. And then an upside down stair and a right way up stair just as a bit of interest on the front. Now we're going to be placing the black stone rim, and this is basically just going to be following the shape that we've got for the roof. So it's going to come up 2 stairs and then a full block, and then again 2 stairs, but like we did with the small piece of roof, we're going to come out an extra block at the front and just use how the stairs connect up the curvy bit that it creates in order to have a nice effect at the front of the build. And then we're going to take this down because this is an asymmetric build. We're just going to continue down with single stairs until we get to the edge of the extra overhang that we've built. Then we're going to connect this up to the back and just repeat exactly the same pattern on the back to bring us right the way up and finish off the black stone section. When you finish the back side, then just bring that across level with the front and connect up the black stone, and then switching to the warped stairs and warped planks, just start filling in the roof. When you get to the top level, then it's a case of putting 2 stairs and a curvy stair on each side, so those link into the roof, and then 3 slabs in the middle. We then go to the other side, which is a larger section of roof, so there's more sets of stairs before we come to that first plank that we bring across. So it's a bit fiddly to do this, but yeah, just bring that up level, then use the plank, come right the way across, 1 more set of stairs, and then we do the same with 3 stairs, with the last one being a curved stair, and 3 planks. With the roof now done, it's time to work on the chimney. So this chimney was, I just free-handed this, there wasn't anything particularly special with this, so you can do it however you think looks good, but the general aim is to have it both coming in from the sides and in from the back of the build, so that at the top it just comes to this 2x2. Then you bring it up to the level of the roof, take out these blocks, and then switch to the walls. So we're going to be using the nether brick walls and coming up 2 past the level of the roof and finishing off with a layer of blocks. And that is now pretty much done. Just tweak it as you see fit. Add some stairs to kind of round off some of the areas, and just make it look nice and rustic and chimney like, but you've got the basic structure. Switch out some of the blocks for some of the cracked blocks, which gives you a bit more in the way of texture on the wall, and also add in some upside down stairs and some walls in some of the gaps, just to give it a bit of depth in the build as well. At this point I also noticed that there was a small section that I'd missed on the water wheel side that I hadn't added any of the texture to, so I went in and added in some of the cracked bricks in here as well. The build's now structurally complete, so it now comes to the finishing touches and the decoration. So the first thing is of course to add in the glass in the windows. Once we've added in the glass in the windows all the way around the build, we're going to add some doors. Now these are the warped wood doors, and we're going to be placing 3 of those. And then we're going to be placing some fence posts in line with the posts underneath. and connecting those up with some fence gates, and these are all the warped wood ones, the green ones. And this gives a really nice effect to the fencing all the way around the build. Then we come up to the balconies and basically do the same thing. We put some of the fences in and connect them up with fence gates on all of the balconies. Next we'll add some window boxes using some crimson nylium with some warped roots on top, and then some crimson trapdoors surrounding them. We're then going to switch to the warped trapdoors and put them as some shutters next to the windows. And the final touch on this bottom level is just some warped signs to connect up just above the doorway and just add a splash of colour. On the quartz areas, we're going to be using the combination of the shutters using the crimson trapdoors, and then some of the warped signs next to them, just beneath them rather, as a line again to just bring some colour into the build. With this build, it is these finishing touches that really do take it to the next level. Moving on to the chimney next, we're going to be using some soul campfires to get some nice blue flame, and then some crimson trapdoors and some warped trapdoors surrounding that, before adding some soul lanterns around, and in some cases adding them with some warped fences to hold them in place. Just liberally adding these around in various different places so you can get a little bit of the lighting effect of these fantastic new blocks. With all of the lanterns placed, we're going to come with some stone buttons and place these as ties everywhere that we can see a connector between the warped stem beams. Next, take some chiseled nether brick and place them along the wall, and then we're going to create a 2x1 set of junk blocks that's going to go all the way from wherever we're wanting the lava to come from up to the lava wheel itself. And then we're going to mirror those chiseled blocks on the opposite side. Those are going to become the supports for this tube that's going to hold the lava in. Next, on both sides, we're going to put some crimson trapdoors all the way along and all the way underneath as well. So then in the future, when we take out these junk blocks, that's where the lava can sit. But first of all, what we need to do is connect up the supports to the ground using some nether brick walls, and around the water wheel itself, we're going to have them on either side, so it looks like it's holding that water wheel and it's supported, and bring it up to the chiseled nether brick at the top. Finally, we connect up the last of these pillars and we take out all of these junk blocks, making sure that we don't destroy any of the trapdoors we've just placed. And then we get a whole bunch of buckets of lava and we fill up the whole thing. So if you're doing this in a survival world, at this point, make sure that you take a potion of fire protection, because you will need it. Because you do need to be in the lava there, and little things like that can happen. But once you have filled in all of the lava, shift clicking, that's the other very, very important thing. It does look fantastic. Cover the exposed birch with some more crimson trapdoors and then add some stairs up to the front door. Now take some dark prismarine stairs and blocks and just mix these in on the roof to add a little bit of texture. You can also use prismarine bricks if you don't have very much ink or any black dye. In a similar way to how you've added some texture to the warped stairs and blocks on the roof, take some of the other blackstone variants and start mixing these in along the edges again, just to add a bit of texture to break up the single use of that same colour and block. Now that the build's complete, I will give you a full run through of the interior that I've added for this as well. So I've not done a build of this interior, but you should be able to see the general stuff I've got in here. Just a bit of storage, the big grindstone here, obviously with some prismarine that's either been or being ground up. Then we've got a enchanting setup here with obviously a grindstone and an anvil, and then coming out just onto the balconies here, lovely views that you can get of the surrounding area from this and the one just through here over the lava lake. And of course, if you built other things around here, then you'd be able to see out there. Maybe you could do it by a bastion or another fortress. That would be great. Otherwise, you can watch the striders going back and forth. But finally, let's head upstairs again to the crafting and storage area. So I've got some chests under all of these rafters here to give you some basic storage, a lodestone so you can lock that in and always find your way home, and some furnaces there. And then coming up to the bedroom, not that you can have a bed in the Nether, but we've obviously got a full respawn anchor here, and our netherite and gold armor ready to be used as we explore. So yeah, this build gives you everything that you need, all the space. I've just done this as a sample of what you can do to actually decorate this. You could do anything that you like with the interior of this build. But that being said, I hope you've enjoyed this. I'm quite pleased with how it's come out. In fact, I'm very pleased with how it's come out and the way that the nether blocks look in this setting. I think it looks really good. And yeah, thank you very, very much for watching. Please do make sure that you hit that like button if you've enjoyed this. Leave me a comment, and above all, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out any future videos. And I will see you next time on ADcraft.